Welcome to Pick a Card reading video. I will be channeling to you your soul messages. This video is brought to you by Imam Mahdi's Healing Energies, inspired by Rumi Oracle Guidebook. I've been doing readings for myself as well as for others. Today I felt the need for uploading a video to give the special and vigilant message for one in seek. 3 cards are depicted on the screen for you guys to pick whichever speaks to your soul. Before we start your reading, I have a message for you. Be aware of disputation and argument, for they sicken the hearts against brothers. You have chosen the Angel Razbar card. I will start by encoding Rumi. Tell me the truth, I asked love. What are you? I'm the everlasting life, love said. I am the reoccurring joy of living, in quoting Rumi. The Master speaks of a den of riches, where many precious jewels can be found. In abundance they lie, patient and yet ready to be claimed. Go scoop them up, urges the Master. The devoted ones look but cannot see. Where are these precious jewels? They cry, for we cannot find them anywhere. The Master gazes lovingly at the devoted ones and responds kindly. In service, my beloveds, you shall find the jewels through service. For what is the soul but the finest and most precious of heavenly jewels? What is service but the scooping up of the soul? What is serving but the scooping up of the soul that it does not lie lost nor unclaimed, but instead honored for all its precious worth and beauty, tended to until it becomes vibrant as a flawless ruby, radiant with the joy of living. Divine attribution is offered to those who wish to contribute to the world. The Great Beloved sees what is in your heart, what it is you wish to offer, and is saying yes. So, you are being empowered to serve, to assist, to offer a genuine spiritual contribution to this planet, to become a sacred hand at work for the will of heaven. Such is the capacity bestowed upon the soul that is wise and filled with love, and therefore desiring to serve. So then, do not doubt yourself, beloved. You have been blessed with this by the Master to find the precious jewel of your own soul, and claim it. Cast aside your doubts then. Yet perhaps this is not easy for you to do. Perhaps you look at the world, even your chosen field of endeavor, and already you hear so many voices speaking. You may wonder if your own contribution would simply add noises to the cacophony. You may wonder if you can already help, if you have anything genuine to add, or if there is just too much noise anyway. You may hesitate and become fearful. Do not despair, my beloved. It is part of your divine destiny to add something of great value to the world, something that has its place amongst all that activity, something needed absolutely in the hearts of all. That precious gift is the true silence. The true silence is peace. It is the living experience of the external love of the divine that asks nothing but to be received and gives of its unconditionally. That silence is present underneath even the most raucous noises. If one knows how to access it, the true silence can only be felt through the beautiful, feeling heart. When you know how to feel for it, to surrender into it, you can transmit silence in many ways. Through the peace you cultivate in your heart, in your own daily living, through your presence, through your art, even through your voice written, sung, or spoken. Yes, even through sound, if that is your path of service. Silence can emanate through your voice, and divine silence can be felt in the arts of others. The true and great silence, as you may now release, my dear angel, is not absence of sound. It is the experience of divine presence of love. So shall you trust in the wisdom of the Master who bids you to serve according to the graces you have been giving? Will you choose to put aside your doubts and instead believe in yourself and the power of divine love that will reach out to the world through your willing soul? Ah, yes, I knew your brave heart would accept this empowerment. I knew you wanted to serve more than you wanted to fear. Whatever is in your heart is the method by which the great jewels shall be collected. The Master teaches us that we are built to serve according to a higher perfection. So if to dance is in your heart, then dance. Be open and free. Do not hide, dance. If prayer is in your heart, then pray. If you can feed the poor with food, if you can give the despairing kindness, the lost your words, and those who have turned away from the great Master a healing touch, then do so. Do so without doubt, without having to be the best or the greatest, or any other notion your mind conjures. Just be willing. Willingness, not perfection. It requires from you. So then there is a room for freedom to awaken in you. Willingness to open you to divine assistance and through the empowerment. Even greater joy of being will allow within your sacred heart. Your service can flow from simply being yourself in the world completely and utterly. Your radiance can become one of the sacred candles of the Holy Master. There are many candles that hold the Master's light, and yet each one of them is precious beyond compare. Be such a light. Scoop up the jewels through your service, and do not render your soul incapable through nightmares of false imaginations and smallness of mind. Yes, your heart is too big for your mind and it will break it open, but that is okay. Do you think you only serve love and are not also served by love? The helpers are always helped. This is love's way. Do you feel as though you are a foreigner in this land? Do you think you only serve love and are not served by love? The helpers are always helped. This is love's way. Do you feel as though you are a foreigner in this land? Ha! Angel Razbar shall show you the way then, for she knows you from a long, long time ago, though you might have temporarily forgotten the acquaintance. She is a great hostess and guide in this terrain of divine love, and she remembers you. You, who are great of heart and capable of contribution. You, who are now signing up for service in the great work of love. Yes, there is work for you to do. Your purpose is bestowed. Serve, assist. Do not hold back for any reason. Not one reason you could imagine is worthy of you. So then aliveness, so then service, so then joy. Help and be helped. That is a way for you now. This oracle comes to you with guidance. You are being guided deeper into your life purpose and divine destiny, like a maturing adult who's ready to take on the mantle of a greater responsibility. Your soul is stepping up. You are going through a process of assuming more spiritual responsibility for the honest and empowered expression of your own essence. And through that, your healing presence in the world is increasing. You are stepping up and forward onto your path. This is appropriate now. It will make you more visible, but this is as it should be. It is not about being worth more than another. It is about the utterly sensible use of a light, that it not be dimmed by a shade, but instead be placed where it can cast its fullness so that others still in darkness may find their way more easily. This is efficient, intelligent, and sensible. Your success and growth is drenched in compassion and brings you joy to the heart of the Master, as another and another finds their way benefiting from the light of your being. So shine through, be humble, but not dismissive of your gifts. Allow others to find their way more easily because you chose to honor the power of the great silence that emanates through your over as you trust and surrender. This oracle brings special messages. Trust and surrender. This oracle brings special messages for reassurance that you are making progress and are indeed on the right path. Although it may not exactly unfold as you anticipate, it will indeed unfold. You're making a positive impact in the world more than you consciously realize, and you are asked, therefore, to continue. Do not give up. Do not turn back, just continue. Take your steps, your journey, and know that the great Master is aware of you and is sending the holy ones, including the wise ancient mother, Angel Razbar, to bring you the blessings of the true silence now. Let it clear and soothe your mind and heart, and help you remember the peace that dwells within you. All is well. Sacred honoring ritual. Say out loud, I am blessed to serve the great, all loving silence through the presence of divine joy, grace, and radiant compassion through the Master that loves me without condition, and the blessed assistance of Angel Razbar, who loves me unconditionally. I accept all help and I offer myself completely in service to life, to being, and to assist humanity in a practical way. According to the graces and talents I have been given, so be it. If you can comfortably place your forehead on the floor, bound to the earth, do so. Rest there for several moments. Then you have finished your honoring ritual. If you have chosen the cosmic heart, before I start your reading, I have a message for you. Every kindly act is considered charity. Starting with your reading, I will quote Rumi first. I was dead. I became alive. I was tears. I became laughter. The power of love arrived and made me everlasting power. I've seen everything. I've no fear. I have the heart of a lion. I shine like Venus. In quoting Rumi. I hear it and weep in sublime reverence. I bow to this living, beating, loving heart of the universe. It echoes throughout all of creation. Once, some times ago, I was deaf. I'd not heard one true sound. Much noise, but no truth. So I believed in many truths, not worth believing in. Then, in a moment of my crisis that cracked my heart open, I was given a gift. Though I felt fear and confusion, a gift came to me, more powerful than those temporary ailments. That gift was the ability to hear the sound hidden beneath all of life. I hear it, the sacred sound of the beating heart of universal love. Now I know that belief in unworthy things, like fear and doubt, is lunacy. Even my loneliness became unconvincing to me. We are animated by this living heartbeat, part of life that is sustained by it. You and I, the planets, the birds and the fishes, emerges from the great source because of this beating heart of the universe. It pumps life through our veins. What proof of this is needed? You live. That is the proof. I hear it everywhere now. It has become so loud louder than any word of fear. It resonates through my soul and eclipses any tremor of anxiety. There is a time on the journey of love when the beloved, that would be you and me, sweet soul, is prepared to engage more completely with the heart of a divine lover. The preparation will be a rich source. What proof of this is needed? You live, that is the proof. I hear it everywhere now. It has become so loud, louder than any other word of fear. It resonates through my soul and eclipses any tremor of anxiety. There is a time on the journey of love when the beloved, that will be you and me, sweet soul, is prepared to engage more completely with the heart of the divine lover. The preparation will be a rich process, spiritually speaking. It may also feel like being beaten, compelled, smeared, and stirred in a pot of a divine master chef to become a sacred and savory meal, fit for the most heavenly of feasts. This is a courageous and bold process, one that will create the most delicious aromas in the soul, and yet it is one that will likely take us right to the places we would rather avoid, places of confrontation with pain, but where the loss of its grip on our being no longer lets us quick and retreat from life in fear or uncertainty. You have been through these tantalizing trials, the push to surrender fear, the realization your attempts at control amount to not so much actually. So why not abandon that altogether? The trials have asked you to confront every part of your being that holds itself back in resistance to what is, in resistance to what life presents at this very moment. You have been asked to become comfortable with the possible discomfort of not knowing, and to understand you don't have to understand anything for life to work out with perfect synchronicities and generous grace. You have been asked to bear darkness without losing hope for the return of the light. You have been asked to trust in your own heart wisdom when your mind was terrorized by nightmares and hallucinations of fear. They were so powerful you were certain they must be real, that you must be crazy not to run and hide somehow, somewhere. And here you are, still loving, still wise, and ready for a love bigger than you have ever experienced before. So we step forward together, you and I. I link my arm through yours and I urge you on. Let us run together and jump over the hedge. No more half living in any way for you and me. We will weep crystal clear tears, and we will laugh with such joy that stars will burst forth, borne upon our exhalations. We will hear the beating of the cosmic heart pounding in our ears, and we shall dance to it. That sacred, intoxicating rhythm moves hips and hands and hearts, rising the soul from slumber. But that heart does not beat so loud. But that heart does beat so loud. It can be startling to the parts of you unused to such wild, unconditional affection and rowdy playfulness. You may worry that this great love is not going to be careful enough with you. What if you get tossed around in the great oceans of love? You will surely be disorientated and become so lost to the worlds you once knew. How then will you know where to go? Fear not, my soulmate. Love has its wisdom and its way. We shall become lost in its genius together, whilst our minds are tipped this way and that, tumbled in love's great waves. We shall be forced to surrender our useless intelligence and become mindless. Then how easy it shall become for the perfection of love to guide us. for there shall be nothing within to question and resist. We will no longer have to find the way, for we will become the way. This oracle comes with special guidance for you. More love is rushing towards you like a great cosmic tsunami. You will struggle with this blessing to the extent that you will attempt to hold on to what has been. So don't. Let go. Let it move you. You'll perhaps get some water up your nose, but nothing will come to you that you cannot handle. You'll be disabled, somewhat, undoubtedly. Yet as you are washed upon love's shining shore, keeping every hair in place will be the last thing on your mind. You'll be too caught up in the wonder of perfection, realizing how deeply loved you are and how unnecessary it is to contrive a way to live your purpose. Instead, you will have no idea what is going on. You will be surrendered in compassionate embrace with life, simply being your exquisite, crazy, unique self, saturated with divine love. It will drip from you, out of your feet, your eyes, your voice, your touch. You will water the earth with love's oceanic presence. Oh, how that tsunami will deliver you into your divine destiny! No need for any contrivance. Let your hair get messed up. Your destiny awaits you now. Sacred honoring ritual. Place your hand on your stomach and the other over your heart. Focus on your breath flowing gently in and out. When you are ready, say the following aloud. Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, with all the wild love and unconditional affection of the universal heart, help me now. I trust in my own heart wisdom and in the truth of your love for me. Please help me trust in the flow of life. Let go of my fixed plans and ideas, and open up to the genuine of love itself. I realize and open up to the genius of love itself. May I realize that my destiny will unfold with absolute perfection, and may I trust in the signs I am given. May I be able to release any false guidance based on fear, and may I open up instead to the genuine guidance and inner knowing based in love. Under the grace of your protection, may this be so. Feel the warmth of your hands on your body. Just breathe. When you are ready, simply place your hands in prayer position and bow your head gently to your hands. This is your simple and powerful action that reminds you of this truth. Your head is supposed to bow to and honor the heart, not try to dominate or control it. You have completed your sacred honoring ritual. Your soul has chosen for you the card Enter the Garden of Delights. Before I start your reading, I have a message for you. The most graceful of people is he who humiliates others. To begin your reading with, I have a quote from Rumi. Are you aware that sweetness is found everywhere in town? Are you aware that winter is gone and spring has come around? Are you aware that sweet basil and the carnation are whispering in the garden and laughing about how simply everything is found? Are you aware the nightingale has come back from its flight singing out messages of love to spread delight with every sound? Everything in the garden is granted the right from the divine court to appear for our delight. Everything is here to make the earth green and alive as a heaven for our life. What remains buried in the soil will always endeavor to reach out. No one truly alive can ever be bound to a prison or a tomb. Rumi. There is a sweet spot when entering the garden of delights, a moment where the senses have gorged themselves upon beauty and became heavy with their fullness, slowing the mind so that it can be perceived, the divine beloved dancing behind the veils of nature. But first comes the sensual feasting. Blooming orchids arrest the gaze with their startling and strange beauty. Nectar from the ripest fruits of the garden drips, luscious and sweet upon a savoring tongue. Hungry for gossip, the ear shamelessly have drops upon the birds in melodic conversation. They sing of greatest, most passionate love and boundless living joy. The ears wide open to take it all in. The craving for touch is sated by rough textured bark falling from the ancient trees. Sound, soft dewing grasses, full in the shade the crunching leaves, making their sounds under the hot sun and dancing feet, and the caress of their sunlight upon bare shoulders, with weight of its own like a silken wrap placed, just so, by a caring lover's hand. The breeze, the every breath of the beloved earth mother, is sweet with the scent of lavender and jasmine worn by the sun father. Oh, drink in it until your arms raise themselves to heaven, your head tilts, eyes rolling back in your head, and your sacred animal body is mindless and in love. The garden of delights, neurotic in effect, lulling the senses from tension into sacred languor that love may be experienced. Let us rest here, in the midst of so much life, where the goodness of life is felt, and the heart is free from any prison of pain or doubt. Come, be in the garden with me now. Let us be free and feast to our heart's content. You have been granted entry into a sacred space, a mihrab, a sanctuary of worship. When the soul is well acquainted with love, life becomes a temple of love, the sacred space in which the soul can grow powerful through expensive worship of love. You are being invited by your own spiritual brother Rumi to enter into life, to commit to coming alive, even if at times this feels deeply challenging. Sometimes a part of you may rather stay locked in an illusion of security for a time, perhaps expressed through the preference of what is known, what is unknown, what is familiar and uncomfortable, compared to that which is unfamiliar or uncomfortable. To tussle with the parts of us that would deny aliveness in a natural part of growth, it can seem so risky with such potential for our take. And yet, what could be more heart-wrenching than the slow death of precious human soul, suffocated by fear and inertia? That is the greatest risk of never really and fully being born into the world of wonders. Surumi is your midwife, there to ensure full spiritual birth. He is standing at the threshold with you now. You are being asked to cross this threshold from the life you have been living into the aliveness that is flickering, glowing at your feet. It is love's wild, hot embers at your sacred feet. They will erupt at any moment into any holy inferno, taking hold of you and igniting you from within, transforming. It is love's wild, hot embers at your sacred feet. They will erupt at any moment into a holy inferno, taking hold of you and igniting you from within, transforming you into living fire. To come alive requires shedding off so much adherence to the fear of death. The Great Brother whispers wisdom into your ear and heart. You have heard it, felt it already. The fear of death is so much more terrible than death itself. Nothing is dying in you but fear so that the heart can live more freely. Death and life are twin angels, dancing together in communion with the sacred. They are not opposed. They bring the soul aliveness and make the garden of delights possible. They bring the seasons of the soul that foster growth and take the appearance of dying away, which is actually part of the cycle of life. Again and again and again. You have been through much death, dear one, around you, within you. You have known this you have known this dark angel. This is why you're so full of life. Your attempts to stay as you have been, to render something in your life immobile or impervious to change have failed. Let us celebrate. There is no delight in frozen moments long since past. Why try to feast upon such food? It will not nourish you anywhere near as deeply and fully as fresh from the oven morsels of life. Come, let us taste all that is on offer. We'll drink heavily and sate our deepest thirst. Let us joy the richness of the meal in gratitude for its preparation and awe at the skill involved in such masterful creation. Do not let the memory of death starve you of your participation in life. Do you hold on still to that which is past? I will soothe you with the loving touch upon your back, and yet gently I will turn your head to the right and urge you to see the rising sun. Your life is blessed, you see. I want you to know this now. I want you to accept this now. Let those horrors of past be gone. There are no more than phantoms. The garden is here now, to be touched, tasted, seen, heard, felt, inhaled, and loved. This oracle comes to you with a message. A new day is dawning for you. There is a time when the past will very soon cease to have any hold over you. Celebration is imminent. You are invited into the golden light of divine plenty. Put your worries behind you now and step into your divine inheritance, where all is sorted according to kindness and grace. Sacred honoring ritual, say aloud, I accept the gift of golden grace and healing now, to leave behind all prisons and tomes, conscious and unconscious, of heart and of mind. I open up to life and assistance through unconditional love, in being present to the miraculous beauty that seeks to live through me, as me, and in benefit to all humanity now. I know myself to be worthy of this grace, to be this grace, so be it. Place your hand gently on your heart and rest all